Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to another cast from your favorite caster, Mega Kai, bringing to you the Cybergamer Cup in a pool, Group D. This is the first round. Cybergamers is obviously, those who are watching will be familiar with Cybergamer. Cybergamer is an esports community, and they do a lot of online competitions. This particular competition is for amateur teams only, so let's see what the lower brackets have to offer within the Oceanic scene. And meanwhile, a quick plug in there for Ping Zero for the New Zealand community. Going to be a limited to 16 team LAN event over 3 days. You can crash at the LAN if you're not familiar with Ping Zero. They have been around for a very long time, trying to fill that gap that's been left behind by XLAN and the A7 group. Those large LANs have sort of fallen out. They're no longer doing those. So these guys are stepping up to play to take over esports New Zealand, and they're starting with Battlefield 3 and they're starting with Dota 2. So should be an interesting event. Lastly, plug in there for Southern Cross Dota at the address you can see on the screen now. Southern Cross Dota is a community hub that focuses on building support structures for Dota 2 teams or people looking to promote events. So if you've got an event and you want to promote it, this is the platform on which to do it. If you're a caster and you're looking to get some experience, or you want to be a caster, this is also the place to sign up. There's a lot of helpful people there. They will throw their team behind. They will throw their support behind you. But it looks like we've just got a game at the last minute. Let's get ready to rumble. It's a Mega Kai, and hopefully I have my co-caster here. Everywhere you there, buddy?
No need to hope, man. You know I'm here. I'm always going to be here.
Yes, of course. This is going to be an interesting event, as I said earlier in the opening of the cast. This is an amateur team only, so we're interested to see what these teams are going to be drafting, given this is the low bracket game. Of course, already we've seen Nature's Prophet and Batrider being banned off straight off the bat. I'd say Batrider is a very typical ban for first ban, but not Nature's Prophet. What are your thoughts around the recent sort of resurgence in Nature's Prophet?
Used to be a really top hero, and as you said, resurgence, so coming back into play now is being once again a really good hero, and it's just how the meta has shifted really, because there's not really been any changes to the hero. I think there's been no changes to the hero as far as I'm aware, so just a resurgence in popularity, it's pretty much all it is.
Yeah, I think there's a shift in the meta, the shift to the sort of I want to say more leaning towards the global type teams, which have sort of this global presence, and of course Nature's Prophet has a lot of versatility and the ability to jump around on the map. So they don't want to fight Nature's Prophet, and they also don't want to fight Weaver in that long lane. Interesting to say that no one's banned out Darkseer yet, so we could see an actual Darkseer game, given that I think Darkseer has one of the highest rates of bans in the Oceanic scene at present.
Reserve time.
We're kind of back to split pushing now, is where the meta is sort of at the moment. Tri-lane was really strong against, people used to run Prophet sort of jungle as a 4 position, and now that he's being picked up more as a 3 position, that's probably, in my opinion, why he's become a lot more popular.
And straight off the bat there, Freinds going with Lifestealer. Of course, Lifestealer is the primary #1 pick spot for this tri-lane. Of course, he has the versatility of that Rage as well as the open wounds. And of course, when he gets level 6 with an Infest, he has a lot of escape capability and is really, really good as just general carry, given that he also has that life-stealing ability, thus his name. And he's very difficult to lock down. You know, you have to bait out those Rages, and you have to really time your abilities when you're going up against a Lifestealer. Does really well on an offensive tri lane, but at the same time, people kind of overestimate how a Lifestealer is really going to add to their team fight.
Let's talk about these teams for a bit. Actually, are you familiar with our teams here today, or what's your thoughts about the current standings of Group D and how all the teams are at the moment?
To be honest, I'm not familiar with any of the teams. This is an amateur-only event, so these teams are all new to the scene. This event was promoted so that teams that would not normally enter into tournaments could have a chance at least to go up against people of similar level. So again, I'm not familiar with any of these teams, but the lineup so far, I'm liking this lineup here. We've got a Chen and a Lifestealer for potentially for the tri lane and the safe lane in the Radiant side, and on the Dire side, they've got that sort of staple there in the form of Alchemist, and they've picked up their Darkseer, so it's great to see Darkseer being picked up. Probably going to be in that tri lane, that long lane.
Definitely, I think I've at least come across Tesla before. The name for some reason is a little bit familiar to me. Like I've seen their, I might have, maybe I've played against them in pubs or something like that. Maybe I've seen them somewhere in pubs, but Tesla seem at least somewhat familiar. Haven't heard of Freinds before, but you're right. I definitely haven't seen the majority of the teams um, in this competition. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of what kind of fresh blood, really, what kind of fresh players, fresh teams that we'll be able to see beyond the more established teams that we've seen so far.
I would like to just say that, the teams, even though they're in the sort of lower bracket, I don't want to say lower bracket because they're probably going to be good teams. They've played together, so they're going to be better than your average pub. But, in this bracket, their drafting is still very, very strong. We're not seeing anything unusual at present. We're seeing very standard, traditional bans coming out from both teams, although the Radiant sort of doing it in this weird way, banning out Nature's Prophet first. It's still a viable ban there. And, of course, Tesla banning out that Wisp, the IO. IO doesn't have a lot of play in lower brackets, but I guess they're looking for you to lock out heroes that they're used to locking out. And again, another very solid ban in the form of their Naga Siren.
Actually, just about the bans and picks in general. As far as very, very experienced teams go, something that really shows with experience is their ability to pick away from the standard and away from the meta, and that's something that you see from much more experienced teams is that they're not so much locked to the standard pickups that you see from the lower tier teams, which play a bit more safer in terms of their picks, or just are not too confident with playing too far out of the meta, or basically just copying other teams, and they really have no initiative to start with.
Yeah, and Premier teams, they do tend to have this wild card effect where most of the draft is very standard, and then they come out with a wild card, another one of the fourth or fifth drop, that really is sort of outside the box in terms of what is tier 1 or what is standard drafting. You do see a little bit of that filtered down into lower ranks once it's been popularized. It then starts to filter down. But, this is still the first three drops. You do expect these cores to be very, very standard and follow the same meta, if you will, that the higher tiers play. It's whether or not they go with these wild cards for the fourth and fifth slot is really what makes a difference between low tiers and high tiers.
To be quite honest, in this level of play, it would be, I would even say, somewhat advantageous to throw in a couple of random picks and possibly bans there, probably more aligned with the picks, because you're up against teams that you've probably never heard of. If you're in this competition, you've likely never played against the majority of the teams in this competition, and that gives you a chance to bring out something that they're totally not expecting. Because when you go up against a team that you've never gone up against and you don't know what their picking style is, you don't know what their strategy is, if they go for a standard kind of lineup, you can sort of still play around that with your bans. But if they do something strange, they do something weird with their picks, it's hard to play against. It's hard to pick around that, and you don't know what you're up against. So it's a certain level of advantage that you can get from picking non-standard at this kind of level as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, there's a bit of a trade-off. Sometimes you have to decide whether or not you want to go with the tried and true and go with the standard and go with what you know works. And sometimes you need to throw in and mix it up with some of your own unique play strategies in order to sort of get that edge up over opponents. But I think that comes down to how you feel the draft is going at present. And again, this is round one, so no teams have any advantage. No teams have any sort of foresight as to how they expect to play. But again, both teams there, they are drafting very solid. Also, banning out very solid there. Jakira being picked up there. I am a big fan of Jakira, particularly in that trial lane position, where he's going to sit with that Alchemist, because he has so much lockdown with that Ice Path. And I just see so many games which go the way of the Jakiro team just because of a well-placed Ice Path. So hopefully we will see big plays like that. Meanwhile, Freinds picking up Bounty Hunter for potentially the trial lane position or mid.
The pick that I'm really excited about at the moment, besides the Timbersaw, we'll talk about in a second, but Chen is what I'm really excited about at the moment. Especially at this level, I really like that Freinds forever decided to pick up a Chen, because if you pick up a Chen, you know what you're doing in that team. Chen is another hero that's recently come back in terms of popularity. Fell off quite a bit before because I think jungling in general just fell off a lot, and that's why heroes like Nature's Prophet were gone, heroes like Chen and Enchantress are gone. Teams in general just weren't too fond of jungling anymore. They wanted to go for the tri lanes, and now jungling is sort of come back into the play again. So
Reserve time.
looking at this lineup, Freinds Forever probably not going to run a tri lane because Chen's obviously going to be in jungle. I do want to say with Tesla though, there's a certain disadvantage that they have at the moment. They obviously got one pick left, but both of the stuns in their assumed tri lane with Alchemist and Jakiro, there's no guaranteed setup. Jakiro's Ice Path, it's good, but it's not a guaranteed setup. It's still got a delay, and obviously Concoction needs a bit of charging time as well. So I feel like they probably need to add something like a Shadow Demon. Probably need to add something with a guaranteed stun setup or stun on the Tesla team for their tri lane to really shine.
Meanwhile, the Radiant team going with a Queen of Pain for that Nyx Queen of, I should say, Lifestealer Queen of Pain bomb, which we're very, very familiar with. Also, Bounty Hunter also be potentially as a bomb target for the Infest. We've seen a number of plays recently, big plays in fact, where Bounty Hunter has actually been a viable target for the Lifestealer being able to come, explode out of invisible. Great initiation there. And I do want to say also that I like that Timbersaw pickup, though I don't really know how he fits into this team at present. Where would you stick to at this Timbersaw? What lane? Where's he going to go?
He's got to be mid, for sure. It's going to be an S4 mid Timbersaw. It's going to be Timber versus Queen, and it'll be okay with Timbersaw because he's got a reactive armor. And reactive armor is, in my opinion, one of the most broken spells for laning. So
yeah, I can see him.
Wow, pretty strong.
There we go, hailing back to the old school. We bring back a Tidehunter. Tidehunter, of course, with that Ravage is going to be very, very influential in that early sort of mid phase with his team in the team fight sort of situations. Although he does sort of peter off at the late phase.
I don't think that pickup is necessarily very good because they have no Lifestealer shutdown as of yet. They needed to pick something that really goes through Magic Immune. I think they should have picked up something like Enigma or Beastmaster.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, the other team's gonna go for a 2-1-1 strategy with a jungle. And so if you're on Tesla right now, you got your two options are you either go offensive tri lane, which with the Tidehunter, in my opinion, is really weak. It's not extremely weak, but it's a lot weaker than it would be with range support with the stun, because now you've got double melee and a Jakiro.
And they're coming out with a Crystal Murder for that last pickup position. Whoa, bit of lag there, sorry there, everyone interrupting, but
it's okay, like it's just a typical lane support. But I think Tesla made a mistake with the Tidehunter pickup because Ravage isn't really going to help you against Lifestealer. I think something that shut down Lifestealer needed to be picked up. Obviously Bane was taken out, but Tidehunter just doesn't add anything to their tri lane. It doesn't add as much as they need to their tri lane, and really doesn't add anything to the overall. Like it shuts down all the other heroes, but Lifestealer is still going to be open. It just doesn't help against them.
And the Radiant team, Radiant team picking up CM there. Teams both raring to go, so we should see how this unfolds quickly. Given that it looks like the Dire team immediately descending into the Radiant jungle, so they're going to either block at those camps or look for an early engagement. So this is a very aggressive move here by the Dire team. Let's have a quick look at the item pickup.
This is offensive. This is offensive tri lane. So they're gonna offensive tri lane. You're gonna do the 3-1-1 strat. But again, I'll be interested to see how it works, but I don't think it's going to work extremely well with Tidehunter. But we'll see, because obviously it's going to be a 3v2 strat because Chen's going to be in jungle. Now, it's really up to Friend Forever, Friend S5 to get in here and block this jungle, but block the jungle advancement, but they're not going to be able to do that with 3 heroes. They needed all 5 heroes to defend with, and on top of that, I think Tesla's level 1 lineup is a lot stronger.
30 seconds to battle.
And down go the wards. Got a lot of smokes picked up for Freinds as well. So we got double smoke pickup, Crystal Maiden and Chen, so probably going to see a lot of movement towards the mid position.
Would have liked to have seen the Dire team smoke up there just before entering that Radiant jungle. Probably would have been able to help them and initiate on the either the Lifestealer or the I want to say it was Chen that would potentially.
They were fairly out of range. I think Tesla played that well, and they kind of just stayed out of the range. They kind of stayed. They played very safe. They were kind of in the sort of area, if you can see where I'm drawing, and you know, Tesla were in this sort of area, so it was kind of difficult for Tesla to initiate this. There's a long gap in between here that you have to initiate from. So.
Both teams. In the bottom lane, we have Lifestealer with Crystal Maiden, just doing a dual lane up against a solo Darkseer, and obviously Chen in the jungle, as you'd already alluded to. Queen of Pain mid against a Timbersaw, and meanwhile in the top lane, it is a tri-lane consisting of a Tidehunter, Jinkiro, and Alchemist going up against a lone bounty. So if they ward, I reckon they'll be able to get a number of kills into this bounty, because you know, most bounties, they do play aggressively, they do play sort of on the edge, and that's when you can catch them with those sentry wards.
I made a mistake about the laning, but I think what they should have done is what I said that they should have done, which is go with the tri-lane, because they picked up the Tidehunter and they should have gone with that. If they wanted to do 3 top, I mean, they can kill the Bounty Hunter anyway with just 2, but I think they should have gone Enigma top or something like that. If they're gonna go up against a jungling team as a tri-lane, I think they need to have a jungler as well. Otherwise, you're gonna see Friend 5. They're gonna easily out-level Tesla at this rate because the lanes, just because they have a jungler and they don't, and Tesla don't.
Yeah, and I think this combo in the bottom with Crystal Maiden, you know, with her Frostbite, it's going to be very, very difficult for this this Darkseer. He has to be very careful. If he gets too close,
It won't be.
if he gets too close, he'll get trapped, and he will get finished off. So.
There's only one way Friends can kill Darkseer on bottom, and that is Lifestealer has to bait out the Surge with an open wounds. So he needs to cast open wounds to initiate onto Darkseer, and then once the Surge is baited out, then Crystal Maiden has to go on the Frostbite. But the Frostbite's only level 1 at the moment, and I don't think it's going to be quite enough. We'll see though, we'll see how they play. Also, it depends on whether Darkseer extends or not, and he's playing really safe at the moment, so it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Meanwhile, at the moment, Radiant getting a slight upper hand with both Darkseer and also, I should say, recast. Sorry, Lifestealer and Queen of Pain leading the charts in terms of net worth, just for a fraction over Timbersaw, but quite substantially above. I would like to say above Alchemist, who's, even though he's got 2 levels of Gravel Greed, not landing those last hits.
And you can see Darkseer, like, he is honestly playing quite well, because he's even using Surge just off a gut feeling, because he's running up, using his Ion Shell, then surging away pretty much, at least the last time that I just saw him do that. So he's playing very safe in the top lane, but what it is up to is, bottom lane, is Tesla to take down Bounty Hunter in this top lane, because of course they're going 3 heroes. It's a tri-lane versus a Bounty Hunter, whereas at bot we have Lifestealer and Crystal Maiden, who's now in the jungle, versus a Darkseer. So, you know, as I said, in terms of XP, if Tesla don't do something with this Bounty Hunter on top, they're easily losing this XP race at the moment.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I do think that they have the chance here in the top lane to knock in, to catch this Bounty Hunter
rotation
and get the first blood. But it's all going to come down to that one sentry they've got remaining sitting on Jinkiro. If they can place that well, they will secure a kill in the first blood with the Bounty Hunter, but it comes down to initiation.
They have to get this kill, because otherwise they lose that lane if they don't get the kill. Because Lifestealer is winning bot quite easily against the Darkseer. Well, no, sorry, that's not what I meant. What I'm trying to say is, in terms of XP, because it's only now 1 hero against the Lifestealer, I mean, unless they give the solo lane to Alchemist and just let him farm against Bounty, it'll work, and then they can rotate. But otherwise, they really have to kill Bounty on this top lane. It's really important for them to win that lane.
Both teams playing reasonably defensively. No one really getting overextending. It's almost sort of 4.5, almost 5 minutes into the game. No sort of engagement whatsoever. Though in saying that, at any moment we will see an explosion of abilities in this top lane, I think, to sort of lock down that kill. And as you already alluded to, they definitely need to secure that kill. Otherwise, they're going to lose this XP race. The stacking going to be effective, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
If you look at XP right now, if you look at the XP graph right now, it's incredibly telling about the laning situation.
Yeah, it's still very, very close. It's still early in the game, but oh wow, look at Alchemist is falling very, very low. Given that there's a bounty in the area, perhaps he's working his bait, but that is very, very low. Only sitting on sort of under 150 hit points. No engagement.
And see, the problem with Tesla's lineup as well is, again, with the Tidehunter pickup, is that you can't kill Queen of Pain. So let's say they leave Alchemist to solo farm, which is, you know, he might not even win that because he's against a solo bounty hunter who's out damaging him because he's totally out leveling him as well. They can't rotate onto Queen of Pain because Tidehunter does nothing against Quap. Ice Path won't give you enough time to kill him. You need a double stun, you need to set up, you need a really strong setup, and they don't have that, so they're not killing Bounty Hunter at top, and they can't rotate mid. So this top lane is honestly failing really hard at the moment. They're not playing that lane as well as they could be. A lot of that's due to picks as well, though. Just a poor draft, in my opinion.
We have Queen of Pain going invisible. She looks like she's going to be rotating, but she's not sure exactly where to go. Whether or not she wants to.
She can't go top. She needs rotation into mid, but Chen's too far off. Chen's coming in now, and Crystal Maiden's too far. Crystal Maiden should have been the one that, as soon as Quap got the Invis rune, I think supports with smoke, and that's the level of organization just isn't there, and that's a wasted Invis. Especially Invis at night. This is nighttime as well. It's probably the easiest kill they could go on, and Dire's courier's down as well, so that's really poor. I think Bounty Hunter got that one.
Queen of Pain now rotating middle. It was Ice Maiden. She managed to get the ability down onto Timbersaw. Timbersaw trying to wait. Scream picking up. Queen of Pain, first blood going to the Radiant team. Freinds picking up there.
Freinds definitely got the upper hand against Tesla at the moment. They're going to find this game to snowball downwards, to snowball for the other team and just become an uphill battle for them very quickly, because Lifestealer will be hitting arm at sub 10 minutes very easily as long as he keeps in the last hits and not missing that siege creep like he just did then. If he can continue to farm up, this Lifestealer's basically got a solo lane. Darkseer's had to rotate now, and mid's just died. And to have your mid die is it's probably at this stage of the game even more detrimental to your team than having your carry die. So
Darkseer having abandoned the long lane, going for the jungle. The jungle method is actually finding it difficult to pick up any CS, any actual levels. So he's gone to jungling instead. So it's tied. They realise that they're not doing very well in the top lane against the bounty, so they've both gone to sort of farm up on creeps in the jungle where they can. But they need to get this kill. They really need to get bounty killed if they want to have a chance.
The problem with this Tesla lineup at this moment in time, at 8 minutes, is now you've got Jakiro and Alchemist against a solo bounty hunter, whereas Lifestealer was solo bot, and while Darkseer rotated. And his rotation wasn't a rotation to even help his team. His rotation purely was to go in jungle. And so they've lost top, they've lost mid, and they've lost bot already, and they lost their courier. That's like a quadruple loss for Tesla at the moment. I would probably look to team fight very soon, get a level 6 on this Tide. He's only level 4, so what they really need to do is rush XP on this Tide like pretty quickly so they can start team fighting, because that's the only way they're going to climb back into this game. But when Chen hits 6, it's going to be hard once again, because the hand of God is not entirely, but almost going to cancel out the Ravage.
Yeah, it's going to catch you on the damage, but not the positioning. But yeah, all the team fight is definitely on the side of Tesla. They've got a Vacuum into Wall, they've got a Ravage, they've also got a Chakra from the Timbersaw as well as the Ice Path, and of course, if you really want to throw it into it, he's got the AoE stun coming at Alchemist, so they have all the potential there for the team fight. They just have to find those team fights, and it has to be set up well. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Queen of Pain with the rotation from her supports again, pick up another kill. Bounty rotating to the middle to get a bit of piece of that action. And of course, we talk about it a lot, the net creep plays so influential in determining whether or not you get a kill. And you know, early net creeps normally equate to early game domination for the Gen team.
Dyer's middle tower is not what it used to be.
You see the Radiant here putting a lot of damage down to this tower. In fact, there's a TP coming in. It's a Timber Sword. They go onto Timber Sword. There's a track. They really want to get this kill, but he manages to chain out of that. And now they're caught between two towers. Damage still coming down for Queen of Pain, but another TP coming in. Queen of Pain has to escape. Can't be locked in between two towers, especially if they give it to Shakira. And yet another reactionary TP coming in from the Dire team. They want this team fight. They're really desperate for those team fight situations. Not finding it. Although there was a number of heroes, in fact 4 of the Radiant heroes in the middle, did not force a team fight, but they're wrapping around now, and it could be any minute now, or very soon we might see a large team engagement right in this midsection here. Having a quick look at the items in any case. Items-wise, great boot conversions from both teams. Both teams sitting very closely in terms of starting onto their core items in terms of XP and XP. There's nothing in it in gold. XP though, 1500 advantage to Freinds. Winning those lanes, showing that they've got that level advantage now against Tesla. But Tesla not out of the game just yet. They've got this Darkseer. He's doing okay. He's doing okay in this long lane. He went to the jungle for a little bit to pick up some extra levels. He is 3 levels behind the Lifestealer, but he's doing okay. Given that he's going also up against a Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden desperately wants to engage. They go down through with both the slits. There's an open wounds and a surge, but just not enough to slow him down. And unfortunately, all those abilities for naught. No hero secured, and Darkseer lives to fight again.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, let's have a quick look at the I was going to say, let's look at the grass. We just looked at this grass. Nothing's would have really changed, but I do like how Freinds, they are playing very aggressively. They're pushing in with 4, sometimes 3, getting those kills, and then immediately backing off because they know they don't have the teamfight advantage. They don't have those abilities to be able to secure that, and they're dominating those ruins, which is just adding to the frustration here for Team Tesla. They want to push these teamfights. They need these ruins as well. Although I don't think anyone's got a bottle. No, yeah, Division's got a bottle. Those ruins just going to the Queen of Pain, and it puts them in a difficult position, particularly in this mid lane. They can't push it down, even though they've got those team fights, because they really need Freinds to group up here so that they can engage, particularly now that they have Ice Path. They have very, very close to the Ravage, and once they get that Ravage, the game will be different. Let's have a look at the levels. Levels say that it's close in terms of how the game's unfolding. In fact, all the carries, all on 9, with Bounty following on 8 and Darkseer on 7. And all the supports very, very close. So this is a close level game, even though the graphs say otherwise. It's a close level game. I'm very surprised on that, to be honest. But yeah, Alchemist now coming into his own. He picked up that early hand of Midas, and now it's really starting to show in his net worth. Before he was struggling, even with 3, 4 levels of Gravel Greed, he was struggling to sort of outbreak that Alchemist, that Lifestealer. But he's managed to do so now that he's got that hand of Greed. And there's reactionary.
Shadowblade not too far off, I don't think, so he's still waiting for a Shadow Amulet. Should be able to get that sub 15 minutes if he continues farming, but they're going to go for team fight now. Ravage is up. This is the moment we've been waiting for. I didn't see the last team fight, but Timbersaw, as far as I know, died again. That's probably not what you wanted for your mid. No, Timbersaw. Oh, once again, a lot drop. Ice Path will catch 2. Macropie goes down. Ravage catches 2 as well. Queen of Pain and Chim both down. Bounty Hunter doesn't know what to do. Invested inside is a Lifestealer. They don't want to go on. That was a beautiful initiation. Good Ice Path followed by a Ravage. Good cleanup. Now this is going to be a T1 tower.
Yeah, Tesla definitely showing that they've got the team fight. They can easily take any team fight situation. No vacuum, no wall use. That was up the sleeve, as well as unstable concussion. If they really wanted to add to the combo, they didn't need it. All they needed was that Ice Path and that Ravage to secure those kills. So they have the team fight. They know it, and so do Freinds. They're playing very coy, choosing most of the time not to engage because they know they can't win those team engagements, but they're definitely going in the favor of Team Tesla. Their lineup now working, starting to synergize, whereas they were losing before.
Yeah, as I said, as soon as they hit that Ravage level 6, they needed to go for a team fight, and they did just that. And it's enabled this Alchemist to get his Shadow Blade before 15 minutes. If they failed that team fight, it would have gone really south for them. This is what Tesla needed to come back into this game. And although they lost Timbersaw twice, I think they're more or less on even footing now. But it also came down to the fact that Freinds were the ones that kind of initiated themselves into that trap, if you will, because all of Tesla were hiding in this tree line that I'm going to draw for you right now. They're all hiding in this tree line, and Freinds had no idea. As soon as Queen of Pain initiated, Chen initiated, bam, straight away Ice Path comes out, Ravage coming from this direction. They had no idea it was coming, so Queen of Pain's going to initiate onto this Jakiro right now, dodges the Ice Path, really good track will be on there, Shuriken to clean it up. Now Queen of Pain, waiting for a cooldown on Blink. They can't quite find her. Tidehunter could be in a bit of trouble now. Track will go on Tidehunter. Is Shuriken available? Yes, it is. Bounty Hunter will go down though.
Rotation in from the rest of the Dire team, looking to even the score. They managed to get Bounty Hunter, but it doesn't matter. 2 track kills for the Radiant team, and that's going to be really useful in terms of net worth. That's going to really drive the gold factor up. And
it's definitely in the favor of Friend 5. That team fight, that gank rather, what do you want to call it, a little skirmish, definitely in the favor of Friends because 2 track kills versus 2 normal kills. Track kills definitely worth so much more. So, and the graph is going back in the other way.
because of course now that it is now 4-4, leveled up, equaled up. The teams have equated. And now we're going to get into this interesting phase where both teams are going to potentially look to do Roshan. But Smoke coming out of the Dire team. Tesla looking for blood. They know they got their team fight, so they're looking for their capacity advantage. And of course Timbersaw with DD as he's looking to bait out. Wasn't in the smoke. Now circling in behind Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain having limited mana. She does, however, have a haste rune. She bounces away. And there is no engagement from this stealth team. In fact, that kind of backfired a little bit.
Backfired a lot. Alchemist really wanted to catch somebody there, but no one to catch. And now they want Crystal Maiden. Acid will go down. Here comes the Ice Path. Once again, Alchemist, no one to throw his concoction on. Queen of Pain coming back into this fight. Friends 5, they're not done with this just yet. Infested Bounty Hunter still there. I think the choice of Infestation is really wrong. I think he should be in Queen of Pain at this point. Queen of Pain at the moment is more leveled and has better initiation. But it works for Bounty Hunter too because you can also get that track, which is pretty important. It's definitely not going to happen now because Tesla just won that last little skirmish.
I think the problem with this Infest combo is you're right, they need to Infest Queen of Pain because they don't have enough AoE damage to sort of follow up this Infest bomb and or enough single target damage even.
Well, Queen of Pain's initiation is stronger than Bounty. Bounty Hunter's going to actually find Jakiro. The Jakiro is way out of position. Oh, no, his team is still there. That was a good bait. I don't know if that was intentional, but it was good bait. Do they know what's happening? Is an invisible Bounty Hunter wants to go on Tidehunter. Does Tidehunter ravage? Yes, he does! Wall goes down. Ice Path to follow. Bounty Hunter will go down. Tidehunter goes down. Lots of damage coming out. Queen of Pain jumps out of there. Timbersaw's already down. Lifestealer goes down as well. Crestfallen on the Alchemist killing spree. Queen of Pain wants to chase. A double kill for Queen of Pain.
Friends playing very, very well. That Hand of God turning the tide just at the right moment. And also, all that AoE, also the damage coming out of this Crystal Nova, I should say the utility and the slow coming out of the Crystal Nova actually paid off. Then enabled Queen of Pain to jump in there and do that Scream of Pain and just really helped keep them clustered, I should say, so they could finish that off. Of course, also...
I was going to say, I really hope Crystal Maiden picks up a level ultimate, and Crystal Maiden did just that at level 8. Obviously, in terms of team fight, Crystal Maiden's ultimate, not, not the easiest to pull off, but if Crystal Mana can just sit in there with the ultimate, it actually does a lot of damage. So a lot of people underestimate just how good the freezing field is, but the freezing field actually does a ton of damage if Crystal Maiden's allowed to just channel that the entire duration.
Yeah, and see the problem with that is that there's a Jakiro there, there's an Alchemist, there's a Vacuum, there's so many
You gotta wait for
shutdowns.
the Ravage. The Ravage is the main one that'll shut you down. But if Crystal Maiden's, if Jackbone's positioning is good enough, you position yourself slightly outwards. Jakira's in a lot of trouble now. This is definitely a kill. Lifestealer's Rage does not care about Ice Path at all. Early Skull Basher already on the Lifestealer. He's set up to kill this Alchemist. Alchemist is not even close to BKB. Alchemist isn't even going for BKB. That's a big mistake in my opinion. You've got a lot of magic damage on this team. A lot of magical abilities that you should really be afraid of. So, in my opinion, a bit of a mistake. They think they want to go on the Timbersaw. Not the case, so Timbersaw's going to get out of there, but Tidehunter, not so lucky. Freezing Field's going to come down, probably not the best Freezing Field because he's doing it inside the wall, crossing the wall once again. Bounty Hunter running the hell out of there, he's alright. Now Timbersaw, will it be another track kill? Ice Path, no, but Lifesteal absolutely does not care about Ice Path. Crystal Maiden gets cleaned up by Crestfallen. Now they want this Lifestealer. No armlet toggle for you, buddy.
Well, both teams playing very, very well, playing aggressively, not holding their ground and not fleeing under pressure. Both teams looking to get the kill, but I think it did go in the way of Tesla there just slightly.
There was a buyback. There was a buyback from Timbersaw.
There was a buyback, but I still think it went in their way just slightly. But it should have gone in their way. They had all the team fight advantage.
Radiant's middle tower.
It was good rotations there, but it's slightly messy because they sacrificed just a few kills that deaths rather that I don't think they should have. You see what I mean though, just here though, I was talking about the fact that they have no stun setup, and you know, if Jakiro is your only stun setup, which isn't actually a stun setup in of itself, it's just purely an Ice Path, which, you know, is nice, but not the easiest to hit. You know, they don't have the initiation power that the other team does. They have Alchemist Shadowblade, which is nice, and Alchemist just picked up an Assault Cuirass, but I do want to mention Queen of Pain now has a Sheep Stick, and I love this item to be Rush on the Queen of Pain. Because, especially in this case, because Alchemist doesn't have a BKB, and if Alchemist had any reason to get a BKB before, he has double that reason now, basically, because now there's a Sheepstick in play.
Both
Definitely a strong item pickup, as opposed to something like a...
Both teams going in for the middle. There's going to be an engagement. Queen of Pain and a Sheep goes down. There goes the track down onto Bounty. Out comes the Ravage. In comes CP.
Queen of Pain's the target they want, though. Queen of Pain goes down, Bounty Hunter's there, invisible. Now they want to go on Lifestealer. Oh, infested. No detection. That was a beautiful play from Lifestealer.
Unfortunately, it's kind of for naught. They lost two heroes there to Tesla for none. Great reactions here from Tesla team, including immediate TPs in when they're required. Did cause a bit of disruption amongst the Freinds team. They backed out a little bit too late, but it didn't matter. They did get away with the Lifestealer bounty combo.
Check out the amount of dust that Jakiro's got in this thing, and he could have used it. The range on dust is really long. I mean, he could have used dust, even if it's a dust that. I mean, I'm sure Jakiro would have maybe just been close enough, but he should have just popped it anyway, regardless, just in case they could get the kill. But that was a shame. That's two kills that they could have had that they didn't manage to get. A couple of mistakes coming up from Tesla.
Yeah, also really unfortunate for the Freinds team that even though they shoot the right target, they weren't able to finish off their engagement there, and in fact they lost two, didn't clean up anybody. Where I felt that they you know, if they'd maybe done that slightly differently, if maybe they'd led that with the bounty opening, then perhaps they would have been slightly better off.
I think they're too greedy. I think they're far too greedy. That's at least twice now that they've failed to siege this T1 in the mid. The defense coming from Tesla is so incredible at this stage in the game. I actually feel like, although Tesla were disadvantaged to start with, and Freinds had the early advantage to start with. Freinds kind of thrown that way because they're just being too greedy. They're just diving too much, jumping in too much, not assessing the situation properly. They should know that Tesla's heroes are waiting because they're not on the map, you know. There's a certain level of map awareness you need as a team, and I don't think Freinds realize that Tesla are ready and waiting to defend this tower, and every time they jump in, twice now, Queen of Pain gets caught by this ice path, followed by the Ravage, and...
Yeah, 10 seconds to Ravage. Team is now biding their time. They want to stick around. They've denied the mid tower now. No, in fact, they missed the deny.
Would still be standing.
Here comes the Alchemist. Goes in with a stun. The rest of the team goes through. There's the Ravage!
Hand of God just a bit too slow. Didn't manage to catch the Queen of Pain. Bounty Hunter disconnects. Crystal Maiden goes down. Lifesteal will be your next casualty. Chen wants to get out of there. And yeah, Bounty Hunter, where is he? Disconnected.
Yeah, unfortunately, bad luck with the DC right there at the crucial time in that team fight. You know, of course, I don't think it would have mattered at this stage. Just great execution. Ravage coming through at the right time. I believe we still have a vacuum up to our sleeve. No, yeah, vacuum used at some stage. But it's only 6 seconds to go. And they're going to be looking to finish off this Chen and get their 4-man kill.
I want to mention one thing that Tesla aren't doing that they should be doing. And I think it's a failure in coordination, is that they should be coordinating vacuum and ice path together. Because obviously, as you know, Ice Path affects all the units that walk in the range of Ice Path, even after it's been casted. So if you vacuum players into the Ice Path, then follow up with Ravage, that's a super strong combo. That's what I really want to see Tesla do right now, is do that combo. That's a cleanup. This should easily be either a Roche or a T2. They have to do one of these. They have to either Roche or T2 right now.
Looks like they're going for the Roshan. Yeah, you're right. They're going for the Roshan. Tesla's team fight advantage definitely starting to peak now. They've just any situation where there's a number of heroes and ults and abilities get used, there's nothing that the Freinds can do. You're right. It's difficult for them to be able to combat so much team fight. What do they do? You know, how do they get themselves out of this hole?
Well, you know, Queen of Pain needs to not get caught out, because Queen of Pain is actually a big target right now, and every time, you know, let's look at deaths right now. Queen of Pain's already got 3 deaths. That's 3 more deaths than Queen of Pain really should have. They want to kill Queen of Pain because Queen of Pain has the levels, has the ganking potential. It's really difficult to kill anyway, and it's really important, and one of the core heroes on the Friend 5 team. So, you know, letting that Queen of Pain get caught out in that last fight is really unfortunate for Freinds, obviously. Really good for Tesla. So that's something they need to be careful of. And also, the Hand of God was too slow. They potentially could have saved Queen of Pain if Hand of God was used earlier. But, you know, you got to be that clutch Chen player. You got to know when to be able to use it. And of course, Chen has a test of faith where he can teleport friendly allies back to base. And I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen that used on anybody to save their teammates. So, lack of execution, in my opinion, coming out.
Teams revealing themselves slightly. They picked up that rune and immediately Timbersaw pinged that location because the rune randomly disappeared. So I don't know if they're aware that there's a smoke coming, but they definitely know something's up.
They are aware because they walk through this dire sentry that I'm pinging right now. The entire Radiant team, the entire Freinds team walked through Tesla's sentry right here, and it could not have been more obvious for Tesla, that is. Obviously, Freinds have no idea. Or they might. No, they don't. If you click on their sentry ward, their range on the sentry ward runs out just here where I'm drawing, and so it just misses out on the sentry ward from Tesla. And likewise, Tesla's sentry ward goes up until here, so it doesn't see the other team's sentry ward either. So have 2 sentry wards that don't spot each other. And now we got a big smoke coming out.
Yeah, smoke coming out of Tesla. They realize the enemy's team smoke has failed, and so they're now looking to press the advantage for themselves. And they may do this, but although they're going to probably do the same, they're going to walk into a sentry ward.
No, they're not. The sentry ward's too out of range. And sentry ward's vision is really low. They will find someone here though. Bounty Hunter, please take him down. Here we go. Ravage comes down. Bounty Hunter is their first target. Hand of God comes down. Jakiro will be your next target to die. Crystal Maiden now in a lot of trouble. Tie Hunter get out on 200 HP. That mech saves him potentially. Alchemist looking for another target. Who does he want? Jen will be your next target. Crystal Maiden's still there. Queen of Pain's still there. Where's the concoction? Not quite available yet. Queen of Pain a little bit too greedy. Thought Queen of Pain could kill the Titan. Wasn't the case, and now Crystal Maiden will be your 5th for a team wipe. All for the low cost of a Jakiro.
Dire's middle tower is under attack!
I thought Freinds realized they were out of position. I thought Freinds realized that this was going south and they should back out. But no, they turned into that that team fight there, and of course clean up.
It was too late to back out. By the time they realized what was going on, they were completely smoked in. Tesla were completely smoked right into Freinds' face. There was no chance for Freinds at that stage. Concoction was there, Ravage was there. There's pretty much no escaping after that. But again, I want to see the vacuum ice pass combo. They haven't pulled it off yet. I don't even know if they realize this is a thing that they can do. I hope they do, because it's something that's really important. They should get this out. Tidehunter now has Blink Dagger. This is going to be huge for their team fights. 29 minutes, not the earliest, kind of late in my opinion, but I don't think Tesla had an amazing start. I think Freinds really made a lot of mistakes, which gave Tesla the lead, and now it's all Tesla's game. It's all up to them to what they do now.
Of course, Alchemist's Heart, I should say the Heart of Roshan, the Aegis not used at all in that team engagement, so they've still got another ace up their sleeve, and if this Radiant team forgets about it, it could be another fun time there for Tesla, and they'll probably be pushing their advantage. They'll probably, they've got the team fight, they've got the Aegis, there's no reason why they should be hanging back, but they're not. I don't see them grouping up for a team fight just yet.
Oh, and Ravage is coming up in 15 seconds. It's coming up, and they should go for this. They should go for this next team fight. They've still got Aegis for, I'm not too sure how long left, just slightly under 3 minutes, I think, maybe 2-something minutes. And they've got a Ravage coming up now, basically. Really should be going for a team fight, ASAP. Especially because Chen's not there, and neither is Lifestealer.
And it looks like they're just pushing down the middle. They are looking for this team fight. They're looking to engage onto the tier 3 tower, and if not, take the tier 3 tower. So they do sense
Trackers. I do want to say it's a good track decision on the Alchemist, because Alchemist obviously, wow, this is really good from Queen of Pain, but no, Ravage is going to come into play. Crystal Maiden goes down, so does Queen of Pain. Hand of God just a little bit too late. Once again, needs to be way quick from the Hand of God. And Lifestealer, well, you know, what can you do? Not a lot.
Well, team fight, team fight, team fight. Overlaying with wombo combo. This Tesla team rocking down now what I think is going to be the mid-rack set.
Easily. That Ravage coming, and again, Aegis still there, no worries.
This pickup of,
not a problem.
I just want to say, this pickup of Tidehunter has actually been very, very beneficial for this team layout. And we got more engagement,
And Timbersaw managed to get a kill on Bounty Hunter there, whilst Bounty Hunter was invisible. This is probably GG right now.
And Freinds GGing out. Good call there. Not looking to extend the game. Many thanks to both the teams, and we'll see you in the next game. I think we'll be sticking with the Tesla versus another team after this. But unfortunately, it didn't go the way of Team Freinds. Went all the way to Team Tesla. Good pickup and good execution. We'll see you for the next round.